Hi, my name is Joel, and I suffer from chronic depression and chronic fatigue and chronic pain and anxiety and a lot of negatives throughout my life that I go through on a daily basis. A little background story about me. I'm 21 years old and I live in Maryland, and I've been dealing with depression for about 6 years now. Uh, Sometimes long term and sometimes short term, but within the past 2 years, it has gotten very, very bad at times, and I manage it with the help of course, my loved ones and my girlfriend, and I don't really have I don't really have many friends. I have very, very, very small amount of friends, if many at all, that I can maybe call and rely on, but it's not a lot of people. My depression started when my father got sick in 2011. Um, so that would have actually been 8 years ago. My dad developed congestive heart failure. And through the course of 6 years, from 2011 until 2017, my dad went through a battle. He went through a battle fighting for his life. And every single day, we wouldn't know whether my father was going to be here, or he was going to die, or anything terrible could happen. Every single day, I suffered from anxiety. Every single day, I didn't know what was going to happen that day. It was terrifying. It terrified me. The thought of losing my dad was a terrible thing. I hated it. I hated it so much. It was actually one of the worst things that I ever went through. For years, every single day I'd wake up in a little bit of shambles and a little bit of, just off. Every day I'd wake up off because I didn't know what was going to happen to that day. I didn't know what was going to happen. So in 2017, November 7th to be exact, my father passed away from a stroke. After 6 years of fighting, I guess he couldn't fight any longer. My depression at that time sparked. It got very, very high. He had a stroke on November 5th. 2 days later, the stroke ultimately took him. In the beginning of 2017, December 31st of 2016, going into the new year, I got very, very sick. I was very, very ill that day, and the next day I woke up with horrible stomach pain, and it was terrible. It was just like somebody was just destroying my stomach, and my eating habits were not the greatest. I wasn't drinking a lot of water. I was basically only drinking soda at the time, and so what I did, I tried to figure out what was wrong with my stomach. I went to multiple different doctors. I went to another doctor. I got a colonoscopy done. They basically tried to diagnose me with something called IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome. Then they tried to say I had Crohn's disease as well, and they basically, I had a little bit of inflammation in my lower bowels, and they didn't know why. So they wanted to try and diagnose me with things that I didn't believe that I had. Now we're going to fast forward a couple of months into June. On June 7th, I woke up and I had terrible, terrible neck pain. Like, excruciating neck pain. I thought I slept wrong. So for the next couple of days, I just kind of just took it as like, I slept wrong on my neck, give it a couple of days, it'll be okay. But my neck pain never went away. About a week or so, or actually probably about 3 weeks later, I decided to go to a chiropractor. First chiropractor I went to, basically, what a terrible chiropractor. They didn't ask me how I felt, they didn't ask me anything, they basically just took my money and ran. So I went to another chiropractor who basically said that I had flat feet and I had to get arches for my shoes, and that was causing my spine to not be aligned right, my C5 and my C6, I think. And that was causing it not to be right, or not to be aligned properly. And I stopped going to that chiropractor because I once again felt like they just wanted money. And I'm not rich. I don't have a lot of money. And so I couldn't afford that. And so I went to another chiropractor because I wanted to be better. I wanted to get help. I wanted to feel better, because even up till this exact day, my neck is constantly in pain, constantly throbbing. And I went to the chiropractor for about 5 to 6 months with a little bit of relief, a little bit of alleviation. I started to feel a little bit better. At this time, months down the line, after my neck and back pain randomly occurred, I started to develop more and more bad things that would occur to me. And my joints and my knees and my shoulders and my neck and my back just started hurting. Everything started hurting. Everything. And I started to realize that maybe this isn't just a neck and back problem and shoulders problem. I look into the sky like I'm doing right now, and I see floaters. Little things that just kind of look like little circles almost, or like little, I don't know how to explain it, but I look up in the sky and that's what I see. I see that every time I look into the sky now. And I constantly deal with head tightness and throbbing pain in my shoulders and my neck, and now my shoulders, they pop, they do weird things, and they do a bunch of other things, and I go through a lot of unnecessary things in my life. Constant pain every day. Every single day I go through pain, and I don't know if I'm going to be here tomorrow. And what has came with this is, of course, increased anxiety and increased depression and a multitude of other things that any normal 21-year-old should not be dealing with. I see other people and they're happy and they have a lot of friends and they go through a lot of good things, and I constantly wish that I could feel like that. But what came with all this, what came with my depression and my constant pain every day, going through pain every single day of my life, has been something called depersonalization and derealization, which is basically where I look at this world and I don't feel like I'm actually in it. I feel like I am just watching myself just go through it. Like I can control everything that I do, and I know I can control it, but it's almost as if I'm just watching myself through the eyes of a video game. Like you're controlling a video game, which you can fully control it, but you're not really there. You're not fully there. What has caused a multitude of my problems is something called CIRS, or basically for short term is toxic mold poisoning. The house that I live in, we had a flood and mold came. And when mold does not get treated, the problem is that over time it can eventually become toxic and toxic to your health. And in order to be very healthy, in order to be constantly good, I suppose, you have to be healthy. Your body has to be in a good state. You have to always be, you have to be nourished. And currently I'm malnourished. And I'm doing a lot to fix that. I'm detoxing my body very heavily. I'm working my best to help my mom to buy a house, to get out of our house. And I'm trying very, very hard. But every single day I'm going through terrible problems, which really demotivates me, which really puts me into a terrible state of mind. And I constantly have to be happy. I constantly have to show people that I'm happy because I can't lose myself. I can't let depression take me. I cannot let depression take over my thoughts and my thought process, and I cannot let this disease take me. I have tried very, very hard in my life to maintain happiness, and I'm constantly angry and mad and sad, and I know that it's not my fault. I know that I'm dealing with illness and illnesses through my body and my head and my mind. And even though I know this, I constantly get mad. I constantly get upset, and when I get mad, I get very, very mad. I don't just get normally mad. It's rage. It's very, very anger filled. And when I get sad, it's very sad. It's depressing. It's not just being sad. It's depressing thoughts. But I have had thoughts of suicide, of course. I don't like those thoughts, but I have also thought that this world would be better off without me. That nobody cares, and that why am I even here? Well, what am I doing? Would anybody care if I was gone? I've had thoughts like that constantly run through my brain. But I know that people would care. I know that people care about me, and I know that my family would be devastated. And I cannot let that happen. I cannot let these evil thoughts in my head ruin me. I cannot. When my father passed away, I had people around me who I considered friends. Months down the line, I don't get messages from anybody. I'm going through a terrible, terrible thing, a terrible tragedy. And I felt alone. I had people around me, my girlfriend, my new girlfriend of the time, my family, but nobody knows what I'm going through. They know what I'm going through, but nobody knew what I was going through. Nobody knew that I'm sick. I'm ill. But I'm going to get better. I'm going to fight this. Every single day I'm going to fight this. I'm going to better myself. I have to. I don't have a choice. I have to be strong for my family and my nephews and my sisters and my brother and my mom and my mom and my dogs and everybody that's around me. I have to be strong for them. Even though I can't show that I'm hurting all the time. I can't show that I'm constantly in pain. I can't show this. I can't let people know that. I still have a job. When I go to my job, I have to smile all the time. And I have to act as if everything's okay when everything's not okay. When everything's crippling down. And it's ruining me. And it's destroying me. But I know that I'm going to beat this. I know that I'm going to get through this because I have to. I started making music in 2014 because I was going through some terrible things. And I saw my dad dying before my eyes. And I didn't know how to cope with it. So I chose music as an escape route. An escape route to let loose of my feelings. A way of continuing forward. A way of a way to get away from this world as I used it for. When I first started making music, I got so much hate, and everybody hated me for it. Around where I live, everybody criticized me and they made fun of me. They would just say terrible things that for no reason. I wasn't mean to anybody. I wasn't negligent towards anybody. I've always been very nice to everybody. I've always treated people how I wanted to be treated, which was good. And they were also mean to me. They all told me to stop making music and to quit making music. And I continued forward because I wanted to. I wanted to share my story, my things that I was going through, because I didn't know where else to project it to, who else to talk to about it, who else to go to. And so I put it into lyrics. And of course, when I first started making music, I was not good. I was not good at all. But I worked on my craft, and I worked very hard. And I worked very, very hard. And I bought a microphone, and I bought an interface, and I bought a computer. And it wasn't the best stuff, but it was mine. It was mine, and I worked for it. And I did it. And eventually, I got everything that I have now. I have a camera and everything to make music videos. And I have a microphone, and I have everything to make music now. Everything that I need. But I worked very hard for it. And my car, I worked hard for it. And everything that I have, I worked hard for. I didn't just get anything handed to me. When my dad got sick, my mom had to work religiously. My mom had to work so much. She had to work so much. And I hated it. My dad didn't get Social Security for 3 years. So we were in a bad situation. We were just in a very bad situation. My dad was the first person to believe in me with music. The first person. And he believed in me. He truly believed down to his core that I would make it with music. Me and him talked about music every single time we talked. Every time we talked, he'd ask about it and talk about it. And he was the only person asking and talking about it. And that motivated me so much. So when he was gone, at that point, it's like, who would support me? Now, at this time, I had a couple of other people supporting me with music and everything. The friends around me. And even they wouldn't really support me, though. They would just... It's always been a thing with supporting me with music that everybody just seems to have a problem with. That everybody would seem to just not want to do. And even till this exact day, it's so hard for me to get support for my music when it all comes down from deep within. I'm not making music about, doing bad things and doing things that I don't do. I make music about my father and about the struggles that I go through every day. These struggles that I keep to myself. Even though I deal with these terrible things every day, I still try. I still try to go forward. And I try to move forward. Even if I feel like I don't want to be here today. Even if I feel like I just want to die today, I don't. Because I know that I have a greater purpose. I know that deep within, I'm important, and I matter, and people care about me. So I have to continue moving forward. I learned a lot. I learned a lot from being sick. I learned how to get rid of the ego that I had. Before I got sick, I had an ego I tried to live up to. I tried to be this cool guy who did these cool things, but I didn't fit in. In high school, I tried to play lacrosse, and I tried to play basketball. And I tried to fit in with those people, but I was an outcast. And I didn't fit in with them. And I tried my hardest to make friends in high school and try to fit in with people, and I didn't. I didn't fit in anywhere. And even till now, I don't fit in anywhere. I don't fit in with people. I don't fit in with normal people. I try very hard. I've tried very hard to, but it just doesn't work. And I've realized that. I've realized that even though I think I know so much, I know nothing at all. In this world, I know nothing at all. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know why I'm here. I didn't ask to be here. I didn't ask for any of these things to happen to me. I didn't ask for any of this. Before I got sick, I always thought that I was always healthy and I was always good and I never felt bad. I never felt bad. And then all of a sudden, my whole life changes before my eyes, and in that same year, my father dies. When that happened, I did not want to be here. Not at all. Not even for a single second. Not even in the slightest bit. I wanted to kill myself, but I didn't. I kept going forward, and till this exact day, I'm still going forward. I don't have any plans to do anything bad to myself. I don't. But I go through depression every single day. And I go through anxiety every day. And I go through pain every single day. But I'm going to get through it. And I'm going to get better. Because I have to. And I'm going to do it for my mom. I'm going to do everything that I've ever said for my dad. Because when I'm gone, me and him have a great conversation to have. We do. We're going to have a great conversation. And even though right now, nothing seems right, and nothing goes right, and there's constantly terrible, terrible things that just keep happening, I'm still trying to remain positive, and I'm still trying to be happy. Even through all this terrible stuff, even through it, I'm still trying. I'm still going. And this video is for anybody who's going through the same things, or similar things, or just feels like they can't keep going. But you can. You can live with this. Live with this. You can live with these things that I live with. I know that I'm not going to be in pain forever. When I fix myself, when I fix my body, when I do all these things, when I get out of this depression, and when I stop feeling pain every single day, when I stop, I'm going to be the happiest person I could possibly be. I'm going to be. Because I have to be. And if you feel the same way, just remember that you're not alone. You're not alone. Even though it may feel like you are, because I know for a fact I feel alone sometimes. I feel like I have nobody sometimes. Even though I know I have people, I know it. But that's what this does to you. That's what this disease does to you. That's what these diseases do. They make you feel things that aren't actually occurring. But I promise, and even though it's not better for me right now, but it will get better. It will. And I have full faith that it will. I'm not the most religious person, but I have full faith that I will get better. That I will stop dealing with pain. That I will stop dealing with anxiety and depression. And I will stop dealing with these things. I know it. I know I will. Because I have to. It's just something that I just wanted to get off my chest, because not many people know this about me. Not many people know what I deal with every day. And I've always felt like people just don't care. People just don't care about it. They don't care about your health or your mental health or anything. Because when people see me, they just see the smile in me. They don't see this side. They don't see the sad side or the depressed side. They don't see this side of me. But just remember that you're not alone. And you will get through this. You will. Just like I will. But thank you for watching if you watched this. And I really do appreciate it. And I know that it seems hard. It's very, very hard, actually. It's very hard. But you have to. You have to. But thank you.